Okay, everyone, we'll have Coach.
Well, what a great day, opening day. Played great baseball today. Just super proud of our team. It's been a long time coming. Great pitching from Davis Sharpe and Matt Clark. Do a shutout on opening day. Only walked one batter. We struck out 15. And then on offense, we scored 5 runs, had 10 hits. The thing that I was most pleased with was how competitive our at-bats were with 2 strikes. We were in the +2 column, walk and HBP to strike out, which is a big one for us. We want to win that free 90 battle, and we had a bunch of them today. Did a great job of staying in the strike zone. Would have liked to have seen us hit a little better with runners in scoring position. We had some opportunities early and did not capitalize. And then base running, we had a couple of mistakes on the bases, got back-picked at first base, and then got thrown out at third base for the 3rd out. So got to do a little better job. And we didn't tag at second base on a ball we should have tagged on. So we had 3 base running mistakes in the ball game. But, you know, it's first game of the season. We expect there to be some mistakes, and we got to do a good job of addressing it tomorrow in pregame and getting better in those aspects of the game. But every guy in the lineup had quality at bats, and just really proud of the way that we played. And we played a great game defensively as well, no errors. So, you know, overall, great opening day. Got plenty of things to improve on and work on, but very pleased with how we played today.
Monte, this was your first game with COVID. What was that like for you, the new protocols?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you know, we have everybody in college baseball this year because of last year. Everybody got their eligibility back, so rosters are bigger than ever, and our roster is bigger than it's been in my 6 years here at Clemson. So it's a lot of guys to manage, and just constantly trying to tell them to get their masks on. You know, make sure they got a mask on in the dugout. And you know, we didn't shake hands after the game. I went over and gave Coach Googans a fist bump and his staff, just because it's just very difficult for me as a coach not to shake hands with the opposing team's coach after the game. But, you know, the players didn't shake hands. We told our guys after the game to shower and go home and not go up into the stands to see their family and to try to stay away from folks after the game. We know that's difficult to do, especially when families and girlfriends come in to see them play. But, you know, we just got to be very precautious right now, you know, dealing with COVID. We're already banged up, as you guys know, with the injury report. We had a number of guys out. We certainly don't want to lose anybody else, you know, to COVID protocols. But really proud of how our guys stepped up today and thought we played a great baseball game.
Hey, Coach, Trevor Groves from CUTigers.com. Great debut for Caden Grice at the plate. We saw a little bit of that power that you talked about for the last few months. He was 2 for 4, and his 2 flyouts were to the warning track. He was in the 8 hole tonight. You think you might move him up a little bit in the order tomorrow?
I haven't really given it any thought, you know, with the game just now being over. You know, I tend to think when you put a true freshman down in the order, I'm just trying to take some pressure off of him and just let him go up there and compete with the bat in his hand. You know, and it worked today for him, and that's a credit to him. He put good swings on the baseball all night long, had 2 hits, hit 2 balls hard in his other 2 at bats. So in my mind, him being in the 8 hole worked out pretty good for him. I don't know if I would change it a whole lot. We had a bunch of quality at bats, and I felt like we swung the bats fairly well tonight. I'm not quite sure I'd be ready to move him up quite yet. I like to leave guys in a place where they're having success.
Hey, Monte, this is Will. To have your 2 veteran pitchers kind of go out there and kind of set the pace. I mean, all we've heard all seasons about those young pitchers, but how nice was it for you to kind of see your 2 veteran guys come out and kind of have that kind of performance for you?
Well, to see Davis do what Davis did, he pitched like a true ace. He was absolutely dominant. You know, his pitch count was getting fairly high. I think he was right at 80 pitches, 75, 80 pitches. They were getting ready to turn it over for the 3rd time through the order, and we had a long inning there in the fifth, so we decided to go to Matt. And, the thing that really stood out to me outside of the fact that both of those guys were dominant for us, struck out 15 with one walk and a shutout, was Davis pitched very, very well. As soon as he came out of the ball game, you got a guy like Matt Clark who's asked to be very, very selfless, a guy that started a lot for us, and we've asked him to pitch out of the pen. And, he accepts that role when he comes in behind Davis and does just an amazing job. And Davis, I'm sure, wanted the ball to go out in the sixth inning, but as soon as we turn the ball over to Matt, he's standing right beside me in the dugout cheering him on. So I thought it was just a great job of both those guys being very, very selfless and understanding, what we're trying to do to help us win a game. And especially, as you guys know, winning game one is a big deal in a series, and having those two guys just pound the strike zone all night long the way they did was pretty dang impressive. And I thought, Jonathan French made his first start behind the plate, and I thought he caught an outstanding game. So very, very proud of Big John as well.
Monte, Brad from Clemson SI. Can you update the injury report on the guys who were out today, especially those three guys in the lineup?
Yeah, well, Adam Hackenberg is out with an injury. Sam Hall is out with an injury. Kier Meredith is out with an injury. Those are the guys, and Keyshawn Askew is out with an injury. So that's the list right now. Chad Ferry is questionable as well. And Cooper Engel is out as well. So we've got quite a few out.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. We know how great a fielder Teodosio is at center. How good was it to see him get off to the start that he did tonight, 3 for 4, especially with Sam Hall out?
Well, the great thing about Bryce is we all know how great a defender he is, but he also, I think he stole a bag, he stole a base, and he also advanced on a ball in the dirt. And 2 of his hits, of his 3 hits, 2 of them were with 2 strikes. So he's doing a much better job of having disciplined at bats. He obviously can really run, and he can defend in center field. He's tough as nails. He's a leader, great teammate. Very, very proud of Bryce, and glad to see him play so well here on opening day for us.
Monte, Brad again. I want to ask you about, you mentioned post-game how different things kind of felt. What about pre-game, kind of the festivities of opening day? Did it feel like opening day as things started? And what was it like to see kind of, a different kind of crowd for your first game?
Yeah, I'll say this. We had a sellout crowd here today. We know that we're only at 20% capacity because of the guidelines with COVID, but we had a great crowd here today. Look, we'd love to have 6,500 people in the stands like a typical opening day here in Clemson. But, the fans that were here were really behind our guys. And we're just super proud of the fan base that we have and happy to have the crowd that we did have. And it was a beautiful day weather-wise. And I'm really proud of just how our guys handled opening day. Opening day is very, very difficult for a lot of guys. There's a lot of jitters. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty. You come out and you win 5-0, and you have 2 guys pitched the way we pitch. You play error-free baseball, put together a lot of really good at-bats tonight. A lot of guys did some really good things offensively. Are there things we need to clean up? Absolutely. But, all in all, I was pretty calm all day because really just the perspective of going through last year, just the appreciation of, we get to put the uniform on today and play somebody else. It's been a long time coming. I probably enjoyed opening day this year more than I ever have before. I didn't have those jitters and that anxiety that I typically have. I didn't sleep too great, but, besides that, it was a great day at the ballpark for all of us, and thought our guys did a good job of managing their emotions and just competing for 9 innings. And, all in all, it was a great day.
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood. I had connectivity issues, so I apologize if this has been asked. But how big is it to have a Matt Clark come in, throw 4 innings, save your bullpen, but I mean, you know what you're going to get out of him, and you can rely on him. And then you've got everybody else ready for these last 2 games this weekend.
Well, the idea, quite honestly, is to have a guy like Matt Clark and then a guy like Evan Estridge, who we feel like those guys could start for us. If we had to start Matt Clark, we would all be very, very confident with him taking the baseball as a starter. Evan Estridge, same thing. We feel like those 2 guys behind 2 of our starters on a weekend give us a chance to really, stretch 2 guys out back to back, kind of a piggyback system, so to speak. And then we can keep those high leverage short inning relievers like an Anglin, like a Rob Hughes, Rasesh Panja, and Jeffrey Gilbert. We can keep those guys in short spurts and use them more often. We don't have to necessarily stretch out our closer because we don't have that guy that can bridge the gap between the starter to the end. We have 2 guys that we feel very, very good about that can do that, so that we can keep some of those other guys in short inning spurts. So it certainly worked today.
We have time for one more question.
Coach, you mentioned the couple of stolen bases that you had. T.O. tagged to third, I think, before he scored that first run. You think that team speed could be a pretty big strength for y'all, especially when you get guys like Sam Hall and Kier back in the lineup?
Well, I just think we just want to be a complete baseball team. That's really all I want out of our guys. We want to take advantage of every opportunity we can. We want to pitch. We want to play good defense. We want to run the bases effectively, steal a base when we need to, and obviously hit in situations. And we just want to be a complete team. So, and we're going to utilize the guys in the lineup, their tools and their ability to what they bring to the table and what they do well. I think that's the key. A healthy Hall and a healthy Kier Meredith obviously can steal a bunch of bases, but we've got some other guys that can run too, and we're certainly going to utilize their tools and their abilities to help us win games like we did tonight with T.O., who can really run.
All right, with that, thank you, Coach Lee. We'll
Thanks,
have David Sharpe
Thank you, guys.
David Sharpe and Jonathan French up shortly. All right, next up we have catcher Jonathan French. Please go ahead with questions.
Hey, Jonathan, Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Made your first start tonight. What was that like? And just any opening day nerves or jitters for you back there?
It was pretty awesome to be able to make my first start. But, I mean, as far as nerves and jitters go, I mean, obviously, like your first game, you're going to have a little. But I trusted, everything we went through in the fall and everything we went through in the spring with our preparation just for this day. And, treating it just like an every other day thing really helped me out. And, I don't think the nerves or jitters were really a factor to that.
How much fun is it to catch a game with a couple of guys like Davis and Matt?
Oh, it is awesome. I love catching Davis and I love catching Matt. And, that really goes for our whole pitching staff. They command the zone really well. They throw strikes, they compete. It's just a great time with that whole group.
Jonathan, take us through your home run there late in the game.
Pitcher I think he had thrown me 3 straight sliders at that point in time. And, it was 2 strikes. I was just trying to put a barrel on the ball and, stay middle of the field, backside, and hit some hard driver runner in, and it just happened to go out.
Any other questions for Jonathan? All right, thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Okay, last up is Davis Sharpe. Please go ahead with questions.
Hey, David, Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Incredible performance tonight with the 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. What did you feel like you had pretty much good command of all of your pitches out there tonight?
Yeah, I think a big thing for me that had 4 or 5 lefties in the lineup was my changeup today. And I commanded that all throughout my whole outing. And, I always have the slider. You can usually land that against righties, but against the lefties, I think a lot of my strikeouts came with changeups. And, I think that was the biggest pitch for me tonight. And then, my cutter, fastball, and my big breaking ball was on as usual.
Hey, Davis, this is Will Vanderbilt from the Clemson Insider. Coach says that you and Matt were kind of pulling for each other, kind of being real selfless there tonight. You talk about your two performance and the way you guys pitched tonight.
Oh, sorry. Say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying, can you talk about the performance you and Matt had tonight? And Coach was talking about the way you guys kind of were rooting for each other in the dugout over there.
Yeah, me and Matty always root for each other. I think we've both been here for a while, and Matt's earned his position on whatever it is. I think Matt is a tremendous starter. I really think he wanted to go out there and start this year, but he embraced that role, and I really appreciated him coming in after me and finishing it out. And he did a tremendous job coming in after me and throwing 4 innings. Like Coach Lee said, we got our whole bullpen for the weekend, and I think that's what they wanted to do was throw me and Matt most of the game. And so we did have most of our bullpen for Saturday, Sunday. So, I think we both did a good job, and he did a great job shutting it down.
Davis, Brad from Clemson SI. You've been through a couple opening days before in your career at Clemson. What was this one like? How different was it with the 345-day layoff, with the kind of a different looking crowd, different festivities before the game and even after the game, not being able to go up and shake the other team's hands and see your family? What was all that like for you?
Yeah, today was different. Just without having 5,000 fans, it was about whatever number it was. But today was it was different for me because the last 2 times I went out there and started my first outing, I was really nervous, had a lot of jitters. And today was different. I was really relaxed. It was the first time I got out there, and I just noticed that was the biggest thing about me today is I just felt super relaxed the whole time I was out there. And it might just be because I'm older, but like Frenchie said, I just really trusted my preparation for that moment. And I think that's one of the reasons I had so much success is I was just being myself out there, and I just had a lot of fun.
Hey, this is Trevor again. It was a real pitcher's duel there for a while. How good was it to see the bats and the offense finally wake up a little bit and seeing your catcher, Jonathan French, hit his first home run?
It was awesome. Me and Frenchie go way back. We played against each other a lot in high school. We both grew up in Gwinnett County. Frenchie did a tremendous job behind the plate. He did, he knows me as a pitcher. He knows just how I am and where I want the ball. And, he did a great job behind the plate. And then seeing him get his first home run, that was awesome. Just seeing him do that. And yeah, it was a pitcher's duel, but I knew the bats would get hot. And, we've been hitting really good. We got a really deep lineup this year. And I wasn't worried at all. I just knew if I kept throwing up zeros that we'd come out with the win.
I know you'd like to be out there hitting every day, even when you're pitching. Are you starting to warm up to just being a pitcher only in one game out of the 3 weekend games?
Yeah, I think it's better for me. I can just go out there. I had the whole mindset today is, I don't even have to pick up a bat. My only job is to go out there and pitch. And I think it's just a little bit easier not having to manage both on the same day. And I've definitely accepted my role. Obviously we got Caden over there who's just a monster. He's just a phenomenal baseball player. And so, I know we're both going to split time over there. And, it's different. Everybody wants to play. I want to hit all the time, like Coach Lee always says. But, I'm just embracing this role and doing whatever I need to do to help the team win.
Davis, Brad, again, you just mentioned Caden. What do you expect from him and Ty in these final 2 weekend starts? What have they shown you that's been impressive and why they're starting as freshmen?
I expect them to do what they did all fall and all early spring. They both pound the strike zone. Ty, runs the fastball up pretty high and just pounds the strike zone. So does Caden. Caden's just got a ridiculous amount of movement on all his pitches. And, they're 2 really confident freshmen. And so I expect them to go out there with that same confidence that they've shown all fall.
Anything else for Davis? All right. Thank you, Davis.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.